What is going on, guys? Welcome along to Arsenal Fan TV, where in this video I'm going to be briefly rounding up some of the Arsenal players on international duty. Now, starting at home, of course, Jack Wilshere and Kieran Gibbs getting England call-ups. First of all, I'm really glad Kieran Gibbs has got yet another England call-up, because his performances in an Arsenal shirt really reflect that he should be playing more for England. But to be honest, it is really tough for him to get in that England team over the likes of Leighton Baines and Ashley Cole. We did see him for about 40 minutes in the 1-0 defeat to Germany. I thought he played exceptionally well. Going forward, in fact, he was absolutely phenomenal, and his defensive duties were again exquisite. And long may it continue from Gibbs, because he's proven to be one of the best left backs in the country at the moment. Jack Wilshere, two fairly solid performances from him. No real wow factor, and nothing that was fairly nothing to criticise really. Again, more solid performances, and he's just developing more as a player. And the more England appearances he makes, the more he will develop. So overall, two really solid performances from our two Englishmen. Moving on to France, it really wasn't a night to remember for Laurent Koscielny in their 2-0 defeat to Ukraine. A sending off, but to make it worse, giving away a penalty. Probably the worst thing you can do in a game that important. And we're seeing it a bit too much from Koscielny. We've seen it a few times this season. It's got to be a learning curve for him now, really, especially doing it in a game of that significance. We really do have to get it out of him, because that is his one weakness. But apart from that, he is a world-class centre-half, and he really does have to get that out of his system. But apart from that, Olivier Giroud had a fairly decent game in their 2-0 defeat, but didn't see much of the ball. We didn't see much of Giroud or Sagna in the 3-0 victory over Ukraine at home. They both played about 10-15 minutes in the final stretch of the game. But overall, I'm really glad they've represented their country a few more times. I'm glad Koscielny is actually managing to get a solid spot in that France lineup, although he really does have to, like I said, get the cards and penalties out of his system, because that is his one weakness. But apart from that, really happy France have actually qualified for the World Cup, because they do deserve to be in Rio, and I look forward to seeing them back at Arsenal. Next we have our skipper, Thomas Vermaelen, playing in that 3-2 defeat to Japan at home. At the end of the day, I'm just glad to see Vermaelen getting a few more appearances for Belgium under his belt, because I know it has been tough for him not playing for Arsenal recently, and I thought he had a really good game at Man United a couple of weeks ago. So I'm just glad to see him back in that Belgium squad, starting the games, because we all know he's a world-class centre-half. It's just a case of rebuilding his confidence at the moment. Moving on to Poland, Wojciech Szczesny had another solid performance and keeping a clean sheet in their 0-0 draw against the Republic of Ireland. Szczesny is just maturing. The more he plays, he's proven to be such a young, talented, and, well, he's becoming one of the best keepers in the world at the moment, it has to be said. And long may it continue, because we all know that he can develop into something really special at Arsenal. Playing for Spain, you had Nacho Monreal and Santi Cazorla. Monreal started the game above Jordi Alba, who is of course injured at the moment in that 1-0 defeat to South Africa. I thought he played really well at left back, as he always does, and I think it's excellent for Arsenal to have two top quality left backs at the moment, and it's a great problem to have. Santi Cazorla, solid as always, nothing bad to say. He actually managed to score a goal in their first friendly match, and it's great to have a player like him in our squad. And I'm really hoping he actually gets a few more games when they actually do go to the World Cup, because he is probably one of the best attacking mids in the world at the moment. And it's great to have him in that Arsenal team. Now, dare I say his name, Nicklas Bendtner, representing Denmark in their 2-1 victory over Norway. I just think this guy, he is more of an international player than he is an Arsenal player. He looks so more alive when he comes to Denmark, and I think that's down to the fact that his attitude towards Arsenal is absolutely disgusting, and that he doesn't want to be here. But since he's an Arsenal player, I'm going to mention him. He played pretty decently for Denmark, but I'm not sure how much more we're going to see of Bendtner in the coming months. And a hatful of praise has to go to our young right back, Carl Jenkinson, representing the England under-21s in that 9-0 win over San Marino. Actually managing to get a goal himself, and I'm really proud of the guy. And the more appearances he gets for the under-21s, the more likelihood there is of him getting a senior call-up, which he really does deserve at some point. I really do want to see him on that plane to Rio. Another player that has been mentioned recently, Serge Gnabry, with the German coach giving so much praise to him. And I'm really do hoping that Gnabry gets a few more games for Arsenal at the moment, because when we saw him play against United and he came on for the final 10 minutes or so, he brought the game to life, and he's one of those players that can make a difference, and I really do think he deserves to travel to Rio with the German team, and he does need to be getting a few more appearances for Arsenal, because he is such an exceptionally talented footballer, and I'd love to see him getting a few more appearances. Well, that's been my international roundup of all the Arsenal players. If you have enjoyed the video, it'd be great if you could click the like button, subscribe for more Arsenal Fan TV videos, and as always, thank you for watching, guys.